It's another last-second loss for the Vancouver Whitecaps here at BC Place. Believe it or not, just 10 days after giving up a goal to Toronto in the Canadian final in the 5th and final minute of stoppage time. They do the same thing tonight here at the Dome against the Colorado Rapids, as it's a 2-2 final here at BC Place. It'll definitely feel like 2 points lost for the Caps, who led this one 2-1 in the 87th minute on a PK from Christian Techera, but you have to say 2-2, a pretty fair result tonight. It was a pretty soft PK that the Caps went ahead on, and they were second best most of tonight. Colorado leading the league on points per game for a reason. They were impressive tonight despite missing Jermaine Jones. He was a late scratch due to an injury, but they really controlled the play, controlled the midfield. Excellent work up front from Gashi and Doyle had the Caps running around a lot of the evening and certainly creating a lot of good chances. If not for David Osted in the first half and a Kendall Waston clearance off the line, this one certainly could have been in Colorado's favor earlier on the night. 3 talking points from tonight. We'll start with an injury. Kekuta Mane left this one late in the first half with a right foot injury. Didn't look good. He was in a walking boot and crutches after this game, so obviously bad news for the Caps on that front. It's been a hot and cold season for Mane. He wasn't great in this one either tonight, but still, week to week, he's you know, you fancy him as their best attacking threat. Has 5 goals this year, and this is a team that struggled at times to score. So regardless of what you think of his play this year, certainly his consistency, that's still a blow if he's out for any amount of time, because they're trying to add goals right now and add something up front, certainly not lose it. Octavio Rivero sold to Colo Colo in Chile this week, so we're still awaiting word on who might replace him at striker. With Mane down now, it's even more dire in attacking positions. Another talking point, again, mistakes at the back. We've talked about this all year. Carl Robinson feeling like the 2-2 goal tonight could have been stopped at the source. That was his quote, so obviously wasn't pleased with the job they did defending the cross, the ball in from Kevin Doyle, who was very, very good. And it's Schoberg, the big center back, who heads in for 2-2 right at the death tonight. And really, that's 33 goals conceded now for Vancouver. I mean, defensively, they've just been a shambles at times. Very poorly timed goals they've conceded, and they only gave up 36 all of last year. It's been a shocking turnaround, 33 already, and we're only 19 games into the season, so they have to shore things up at the back. And that brings us to a third talking point, which is some reports that both David Edgar and Marcel de Jong, we're hearing, are going to be done deals and introduced sometime this week here in Vancouver. David Edgar, interesting, probably the more interesting of the 2 signings, certainly with his pedigree in Europe. He's a center back. He can play right back. He can play a little bit in defensive midfield, so he gives them some cover in a couple of positions, but you have to think he's going to come in as a center back. And also leadership, offering some leadership to this group. They just haven't had enough on the field at times, and I think that's been reflected in these late goals they've conceded. Their heads haven't quite been right. They haven't been able to close out games, haven't been able to keep leads. Just not enough communication maybe on the field. Without Pa Mudukai out there, they lack that big vocal leader, and maybe David Edgar can come in and rattle some cages here, but it will be interesting to see also what they can do up front. Certainly they've got that DP spot open. They have to add something up front in this window. They've got 3 weeks or so left here, and fans will certainly be anxious to see if they can get a goal scorer in.